I like the Mazda CX-30. I've had quite a few of them, had very few complaints, and understood Mazda had one in a warehouse not too far away, so I said, hey, send one over. And they said, sure. So let's take a look. This is the base price Mazda advertises on their website. Bit of a feeling the one they're sending me is going to be a bit more. And over to my email, here's the price sheet. Yeah, it's definitely a bit more money because it's the Turbo Premium Plus, which means it's loaded up with anything they offer. Here's all the goodies we're getting for the big fee. We're getting the turbo engine over the standard engine. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I'll just scroll down if you want to freeze frame something that catches your attention. But wait, there's more. I really don't need leather and a moonroof, but that's what we're getting. That brings us to $36,950, but for some reason they want to charge extra for paint. $450. It's a new gimmick all the car makers are doing now. Charging you for a paint job, and they want $135 for a, what is that, rear bumper guard? Oh, come on. Really? This stuff should be standard if we're dealing with a premium vehicle, but again, another way to get in your wallet. And this is the final tab. The safety rating for those who care about stuff like that. And while this is assembled in Mexico, I don't like that idea. The engine and transmission are assembled in Japan and shipped over in one piece, so that's comforting to know. Well, here it is, and one thing I've noticed about Mazdas with CX-30, CX-50, CX-90, getting way up to the expensive level, they all look pretty much the same, so if you get a cheaper CX-30, people might think you're driving the very expensive CX-90. Can't complain about that. Pretty nice looking rig. One of the first things to do when you get a vehicle is to check and see what brand of tires they're issuing, because a lot of companies are putting cheap off-brand garbage on to save a few bucks. You know who you are. These are Bridgestones, so no complaints there. We also want to check and see if there's a spare tire, because you go out of town or go off-road and get a flat, this is what you want to see. And yes, we do get a spare tire. Now, whether you get that on the base cheapy $27,000 model, I don't know. With what we're paying for this, I would certainly expect a tire under here. And as always, we'll be taking this out to test the headlights in the dark and do a night drive. It's a separate video that we posted on YouTube. I have a link for that at the end of this video, so you're not missing anything. And it's about 100 plus degrees outside, so we need to get in some shade so my camera doesn't melt. The base engine is a 2.5 liter, putting out 191 horsepower, hooked to a 6-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive. It's more than adequate for a task, doing 0 to 60 in just around 8 seconds. For more money, you get the Sky Active G Turbo. That's a fancy word. Again, 2.5 liter, hooked to an 8-speed automatic and all-wheel drive, putting out 227 horsepower if you're using 87 octane, or they'll advertise 250 horsepower if you use Super Premium. It runs fine on 87 octane if you want to save some money. These are pretty reliable engines if you do your maintenance like you're supposed to. And the 0 to 60 time on this turbo is just a hair under 6 seconds if you press it rather hard. And according to the window sticker, the mileage of this particular engine is 22 in the city, 30 on the highway, and 25 overall if you're using premium fuel. I've used 87 octane before, noticed a difference in acceleration, but not that much difference in fuel economy. We'll be using premium for most of our test here. And that compares to the non-turbo engine, rated 26 to 33 mpg with an average of 29. which does of course take 87 octane, but we don't have that to test. We have only the turbo. We're going to rack up around 350 miles to 400 miles, see what numbers we get. And most of them will probably be on the freeway because I just don't have much city driving to do this week. So stay tuned. If you get the base Mazda CX-30, it's an 8.8-inch screen. Get the deluxe one, this big 10-incher, 10.3 inches if my spec is recalled correctly. And unlike other manufacturers who put all the climate controls on the info screen to save money and make your life miserable, here we have simple knobs, buttons, switches, separate from the screen the way it's supposed to be. Thank you very much. And here are your heated seats. And the master control, shortcuts for your sound system, main menu, navigation, and a volume knob for your sound system. Thank you very much. Better off down here, I can reach it. And the drive mode switch for sport or non-sport. That's all you get here. What else do you need? And when you play with the knob, you get all kinds of menu options. Pretty simple to use. Very easy to learn. A very nice gauge cluster. No gimmick, simple round dials. The way it should be. And Mazda uses the same power steering system as they do in their sporty sedans. Very quick ratio. Very sporty. Very strong brakes and a pedal system that feels the way it should be. Brisk handling. The bottom line, this is a sporty vehicle. It drives like a sports sedan. Even though it's 8 inches off the ground, which does assist in off-roading if you desire to take off pavement. Overall, this is a very well-engineered vehicle. Lots of power with this turbo. And the interior isn't as roomy as some of the competitors, but how much stuff are you hauling? Emergency braking. I don't want to hit him. Again, brakes work just fine, feel fine. By the way, here's the camera system on the wide 10-inch screen, and resolution is very nice. You watch my nighttime video, we'll see how it looks in the dark. I've been driving this about a week. I have to say this air conditioning is doing a great job of cooling off the vehicle. Very important when you have outside temperatures reaching 114, 115 degrees. Well, it's a little noisy on full speed, but hey, so what? Also, 99% of my driving has been on freeway trips and expressways. I wasn't driving for fuel economy. I was in a hurry, passing everybody. And the mileage was 28 mpg, which is just a bit under the 30 mpg claimed. You put the cruise control in 75 and don't pass anybody, I have no doubt you get the 30 mpg they claim. For what it's worth, I just took a 35-mile trip averaging 55 to 60 miles per hour. At that low speed, I got 39.6 mpg. That's not normal driving for me, but if it's normal driving for you, this is what you can get. Alright, bottom line, this Mazda CX-30 is a nice vehicle. Mazda's one of the few brands that hasn't gone down the toilet as of late. Good brand, good vehicle. And if you're looking for a little compact SUV, this should be on your list. If you want to see our headlight test at night drive, here's a link coming up. Click and watch.